Okay, I did want to go over a couple of things with you. I know it's been a while since you guys have worked with for loops, and I'll go over some of the other stuff you need to know to help you do your homework. Okay, but let's look at problem number 15 that I did not assign to you, but it does make use of for loops, and that was covered in chapter 7. So I did want to go over that because you will have to use for loops in your exercises in chapter 8. So this is number 15 in chapter 8. And number 15, they want you to determine if a string contains all digits. So here I have a string number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so I need to test to see that each of those character values 1, 2, 3, 4, and yada yada are actually digits. Okay, so and I'm just assuming that I'll have a method or a function here that will return whether or not that string contain all digits. So I declare a variable is number, Boolean type, as true initially. And if I find that a digit is not, or if a character in that string is not a digit, then I'll set is number equal to false, and then I'll return is number as false. If every number is a digit, then is number will be true. So in order to iterate through this string here, I use a for loop. So I go for integer I is equal to 0 and I less than the length of the string, so number length. And I can't go I is less than or equal because remember strings start at index 0, so the last index will always be one less than the length of the string. So for integer I equals 0, I less than number length, and then I plus plus. So I'll increment I by 1 each time for the loop. And then I do my test here. So if not character is digit, so if each character is not a digit, or if a character is not a digit, then I'll set is number equals false. So with number is a string, so I get number, I use the method character at I. Okay, I will vary as I go through the loop 0, 1, 2. So I get each character in that string, and then I call the isDigit method of the character class to see if that character is a digit. If it's not false, it's true, and so is number will be set to false. All right, so that's the way that was done, but again, that illustrates using for loops that we covered in chapter 6. So now I gave you a problem. You guys, this is problem number 20, and I'll briefly look at that. What you are going to have to do is you're going to have to create a class that helps you check the ISBN number. Okay, so what I initially gave you, and this is the file you start to work with, and this here, as well as the other problem you have for homework, is going to require you to create a class and declare instant variables, and then create constructors, and then create a function that does the processing, and all the things that you need to do on the computer science A exam. Okay, 40% of the computer science A exam. You actually have to start from scratch, create a class, methods, and so on and so forth. So here, but this is what I gave you. So what this here does, what this Java source code does, is it's going to ask you for an input from the keyboard. So we declare the scanner input, new scanner input. So we create a new object that allows us to input data in from the keyboard. Initially, we set Boolean done is equal to false. Okay, because what this program will allow you to do, it will allow you to keep asking or verifying if you have an ISB number. And then when you're tired of doing that, what you will do is you'll just type in Q to quit the loop. Okay, so initially Boolean done is equal to false. So while not done, not false is true, so we enter in the while loop. Okay, so then we go system printout. So we show the user enter next ISB number, Q to quit. And then now we get the we get the input from the user. We assign it to ISBN. If we see that the user has inputted Q, then we just break out of the while loop. If not, then what I've done is I've wrapped everything up in a try catch block, because it's possible that the user could enter in something that is not Q, but neither is it a valid integer like A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I wrap that up in a try catch block. So in that case, if the input is invalid, it's really not a number you can work with. Okay, it will default to the catch block here, and it will just print invalid ISB number. And we do that most times when somebody's entering in something from the keyboard. We want to verify that it is what the computer expects. If not, we need to terminate the application. We don't want the application to actually blow up on the user. So we wrap things in a try catch block. So here I just go double parse double ISBN, meaning can the system actually take that string and now convert it to a double? If it can, great. Doesn't throw the catch block. If it can't, it will throw the catch block. Okay, so if it's a valid number, now what we do is we instantiate, and this is what you guys will have to do. You'll have to create a class like check ISBN. You'll create a reference variable or an object to that class, so equals new check ISBN. And then what you will do is you will pass in the ISBN number. In the same class, then you'll declare a function, is valid ISBN. And so on that object check it, you'll call that function to check to see if it's a valid ISBN number. And then if it is, you'll say yes, it's a good ISBN number, else you'll say nope, it's not a good ISBN number. Okay, so what you have to do, you will have to create a class. Okay, and here I give you kind of like a just an overview of what you have to do. So here I have my public class check ISBN. Here I declare a instance variable, make it private. And then here's my default constructor there. And then here's a constructor that I call when I created that object in ISBN. So when I created check it, I called that constructor check ISBN, passing in the ISBN number. Okay, so the ISBN number is passed in, and then it gets assigned to my instance variable. And then you need to do the logic. Okay, so you need to do the logic to check to see if it's a valid ISBN number. Returning true if it is, otherwise you return false. So again, the purpose of this here is for you to get in practice of creating classes and constructors and methods, because that's what you do on the AP computer exam. All right, so that's what you'll have to do. And then the last one I wanted to show you is the Hangman game. So you are provided with the source code for Hangman. And then what you'll have to do, you'll have to create a class called Hangman Game, and then provide the code and the constructors, the instance variables, and all those things, methods, to do as the problem asks you to do. Okay? So I'll briefly go over what they provided to you. So again, we'll be getting input from this user, so we import the scanner class. Here I'm declaring an array of type string and assigning it to words. So words is an array, and it's going to hold these words: inheritance, abstraction, encapsulation, and polymorphism. And now in my main method, okay, so again, I wrap everything, or everything gets wrapped around a try block, because it's possible that the user could enter in something that the computer is not expecting. And so then what we do, we generate a random number using the math random class. We generate a random number, and that random number is going to go anywhere from 0 to word length. So here I have 4 in word and 4 words, so it will go anywhere from 0 to 3 actually. Okay, so math random returns something from 0 to less than 1. So anything 0 times something less than 1 will give me 0 times something less than 4. So 0 to 3. And then so that gives me the index, and then using that index, then I retrieve the word from the words array. Okay, so words. So this will pick out a word from the words array using the randomly generated index. Okay, and then I pass in we pass in that word to the class that you guys are going to create, hangman game. And then they declare these variables integer, count, and filled guess. All right, so all of this is provided to you. What you have to do is you have to create a class called hangman game and do as the instructions ask you to do. Okay, so you'll have a method called get tried, and you'll have a method called get guess, and you'll have a method called try letter. If you've already tried the letter, okay, that method try letter should return 0. If the letter is not there, which means it's the first time you've tried it, okay, it will return -1. But if the letter is in the word you're trying to guess, it will return 1. Okay, so that's it for hangman. Again, your responsibility is to provide the code for hangman game. The instant variables, the constructors, the methods. Just like AP Java, just like the AP Computer Science A exam. Okay, so there.